Welcome back to Coin Sense and Nonsense. Today, we're starting a typeset album. I know, most people go for the Dansko, but not everyone can afford the Dansko. Plus, it goes to the 1800s, and maybe not everyone's into going that far back. Plus, that one has a space for the Silver Eagle. So this is kind of the everyman's typeset, I would say. Something you could do as a young collector. Doesn't go too far back and not super challenging. So I do like Whitman albums because I like the way the coins look on the blue background. But anyway, today we're going to start off with the dollar page, and I think I got them all. And yeah, we'll cover it when we get there, but there's been a type added since I bought this book. I've been dilly-dallying and haven't got to do the video. So anyway, let's get going. So we are going to do the dollars, but I've got some props out here in the background for a reason. And I do have nice coins that would be good in a typeset, I guess, but I'm not going to bust out nice coins to put in the book. So we're going to have lesser versions of these coins, but still happy to have those. So anyway, let's get into the dollars. And our first one, of course, is going to be the Morgan dollar. So again, this book goes from 1900 to present. And so I had to pull a Morgan dollar that was within the date range and didn't want to have a 1921. So this is a nice Philadelphia mint and 1903. So good enough for the album here. So I think I need some gloves. Right, we got our gloves and time to put that one away. So can zoom in a little here and check the details. So not a BU coin, but didn't want to finger it up either when I'm putting it in the book. So there we go. So, and then we may as well continue on. We got a peace dollar, and these are all 1921 and onward. I guess on to like what, 1935. And then they had the reissues, but those don't count for the typeset. And so this one, if it had a mint mark, it would be below the O and N in 1. And there are a lot of varieties that can be found in a lot of the peace dollars and Morgan dollars. Actually, there's something called VAM, Van Allen and Malice. And so people who go really crazy for all the different varieties are all into that. So if you're interested, I'll put the link for the website where you can look up all that fun stuff. So we're cruising right along. Next up, we've got the Ike. And there was a long hiatus in between the peace dollar and the next need for dollars, apparently, or at least coin dollars. And so for this, I thought it would be good to pull a silver dollar. And so this is what's known as a blue Ike. When they had the Eisenhower dollar, like silver dollar versions, some of them came in blue packaging, like this one. And then there was brown packaging, which were the proof Ikes. And so these are pretty darn cool. So these are 40%ers. Got the top row done, but we can't close the plastic deal yet because we got one more Ike. And this one we got bicentennial. Right, for the bicentennial, I wanted to show a proof just to get the nice contrast. Unfortunately, this one has a little bit of hazing, so it's not super nice. You're not supposed to dip coins, but we may do an experiment with this one in a future video. But for now, Ike's going down. Well, doesn't sound good. But anyway, we got the whole upper section done, and that is awesome. And like I say, I love the way the contrast is with the blue background. So next up, we've got the modern dollars that are kind of closer to quarters and are not so beloved. First up in that group is Susie. We got Susan B. Anthony, no disrespect, but this was terrible when it came out. Love the reverse, though. It's actually one of my most favorite reverse designs in all of our coins. I realize the eagle can't survive on the moon and all that, but man, that's a cool one. But anyway, this, when it came out, was confused with the quarter a lot, and vending machine folks weren't so happy because there were problems. So anyway, they realized we can't have a silver coin that's almost the size of a quarter. And they said, we can fix it. And so same size, but we just made it gold. And so obviously the design is different. This is the Sacagawea and the little papoose there, and that's Jean-Baptiste. So that is cool. So 2000 was the first year of issue of these. What was interesting is they had phased out Susan B. Anthony and then brought her back. I think 1981 was the last one, and then they realized they needed more. So in 99 they minted some, and then people hated it so much we got Sacagawea. So this one had interesting varieties, actually. There was something called a speared eagle, or there is something with a die chip across the breast of the eagle, and those are something to look out for. Also, there was a different finish of these, and those would be hard to find in circulation, but a lot of people bring them up as, oh, you can find it. Just like the Cheerios dollar is probably something that, unless you pulled it from the cereal box yourself and saved the packaging, good luck trying to prove that one. So anyway, enough rambling. Let's get her in the book. And so 2000 to 2008 was Sacagawea, and after that they kind of continued in 2009. We're going to skip the presidents for a moment, and we're going to go with this. And these are called Native American dollars, and you're saying coin sense. It looks almost the same. What the heck? We got just a closer image of Jean-Baptiste, but there's no date. They moved everything to the edge, and so there were error coins with edge problems, lettering issues, whatever, and so it's too much work to try to check the edges. I tried hunting dollars. You could go nuts. So anyway, that's the big difference is, and on the reverse, so each year they had a different reverse to honor Native Americans, and so this is Native Hospitality. You can see the trout on the tray there. That is cool. So I like this one. I could have picked any of the other designs. And so these actually were not made for circulation. These are just for collectors or for coin sets and things like that. So you do find them. People break them out of sets and spend them, but they weren't intended to be circulated. All right, now the presidential dollars. I picked one of my least favorite presidents. Most people would say, let me give George Washington or whoever to get their favorite president. I don't know, just wanted to play around here. Woodrow, not a good dude. So these had edge lettering and the dates on the edge and all. So not a fave. I don't have the Roosevelt handy, otherwise I'd probably put that in there, or the Herbert Hoover. But anyway, so also the early presidential dollars were circulated, and then I believe in 2012 is when they started making them just for collectors. So as I mentioned in the opening, they've added a type since I bought my book. I don't have the innovation dollars, but I don't plan on collecting those either. So I hope you enjoyed checking out the Everyman's typeset, and that's what I'm calling it anyway. So in a future video, we'll attack some of these others. I can't promise I'll wipe out a whole page in one shot, but I knew I could do the dollars. So I thank you so much for watching Coinsense and Nonsense. And until next time, bye. Bye. Oh, I had to rearrange. Bye. Bye. So I got gloves, and because we're gonna be doing some pushing, and when you're doing pushing, it's always recommended to have gloves, right, guys? And so I thought it would be nice to have a proof version, even though it's got a bit of a schmear, and I can't have this one. And actually, there's more to say about this, but since I'm already on a roll with that, oh, wrong coin, dick.